Welcome to the Four Brewers Podcast. My name is John Holzer, and as always, I am joined by
Jason Harris,
Greg Nagel,
and Tim Mather.
This week on the show, we've got some homebrew. It's been a while since we've had some homebrew on the show. Listener Mark Pellicle, which is a very convenient name for a homebrewer, sent us a couple beers that he brewed up, a wheat ale and a Saison Braggot that's made with pawpaw fruit, I believe is what it's called. We'll get into that.
Hey, Paw.
I've never heard of pawpaw fruit, so we're going to get to experience what it's like in a beer.
There's a little bit of old pawpaw in every batch.
Before we get into that, just wanted to it's kind of an unofficial relaunch. We opened up our merch store again through Teespring. Teespring has gone through a bit of a rebranding. They're called Spring now. And the way they worked before, you had to basically start a t-shirt campaign. You had to have a minimum number that you would reach, and then they would print the shirts. And if you went above that, then you got your, whatever. They're not doing that anymore. They shifted to a print on demand model. And if they get enough orders, they'll actually do screen printing. So we brought back our main designs, the Four Brewers metal logo, the Four Brewers whale logo. The standard Four Brewers logo shirt with the 4B on it will be up there soon. I just haven't gotten around to it. And we got two new shirts too. We've got a Cheap Beer Corner shirt. It's the first time it's been on a shirt. The only other piece of merch the Cheap Beer Corner's been on has been a koozie. And this new lager shirt that I made when I was bored that Tim probably doesn't like because it's not designed correctly. But I don't care. I like it. I'm wearing it right now. Cool. Trying to get at this. Yeah. That's a shirt right there. Turned out pretty good. Like I said, these are print-on-demand shirts, and for being print-on-demand shirts, they look pretty good. So,
can I get a special request one that has a B inside the glass? So it's like beer blogger, like blogger.
Blogger.
Got it.
Can we put periods after the L and the A so we can really capture that local market? You could get the Lakers colors.
So
get the Lakers
beer
colors,
blogger.
And then period L period A period lager, but like L-ager. And then you've got the purple and yellow, so it's already Lakersy. You got it, man.
It's lager.
Why don't you work on that, Tim?
All right, I'll get right on that.
Okay.
Let's see if I can I'll put the Dodgers version of the LA in there, and then we'll make it purple and gold.
There you go. Be a crossover.
And then we sell it on a quarter outside of sports games.
Exactly.
Right.
Along with bacon wrapped hot dogs.
It quickly surpasses the income of the Four Brewers podcast.
With pawpaw fruit.
That's actually why I made purple an option, because it looked cool with the yellow in the beer glass, and it looked kind of LA Lakers and Lakers-y, I should say.
Lakers.
So I was like, yeah, why not? So they come in different color options. The 4B metal logo shirt only comes in black because that's the only color it should come in. And the quality's pretty good. We kept the prices as low as possible. Like, I think we're making $1.50 off every shirt just for transparency. So it's not like we're going to get rich off these. So if you want, some 4B merch, go check it out. There's a link in every one of our blog posts for the 4B merch.
But if you buy them outside of Staples Center, we're going to be selling them for $25.
Heads up.
So, like I said, this week on the show, we've got beers from 4B listener Mark Pellicle. I believe he's also a patron on Patreon. I have to double check that, but I'm almost positive he is. And he reached out to us about a month ago maybe a month and a half ago, said he wanted to send us some beers if we were into reviewing listeners' homebrew, and of course we are. Like that's awesome. We do it all the time. So if you guys, if you're homebrewers, you want to send us your beer, send it. We'll drink it and try it. Along with his beers, we're also drinking a special beer, Pliny the Younger 2021. We mentioned that Greg and I were able to get our hands on it, and we got Tim and Jason a bottle.
Oh my god!
It's not getting any younger, so we're going to drink it this week. So that being said, we're going to start off with a wheat ale that Mark sent us. And I should say, before we get into these beers, at the final mile, I messed up and I sent Tim 2 of the same beers and kept 2 of the same other beers for myself. So I have 2 of the Saison Braggots and Tim has 2 of the Paw Paw wheat ales. So for this beer, I'm going to actually break out a Wookie Jack from Firestone Walker because it literally got delivered 2 hours ago.
That can is sweet.
Yeah, it's a really cool looking artwork. They changed it up from what it was before.
Do you think he has a companion Meemaw beer to go with the Paw Paw beer?
Maybe.
Jason's such a funny guy.
So yeah, Greg and Jason will be doing this beer, and
I got it too.
And Tim.
Oh yeah, and Tim. Okay,
remember Tim?
I'm over here in the corner.
And I figure, if as long as Jason and Greg get beer, I think they have the best palates out of all of us. That's all that really matters.
It's really nice. I'm
not
just
that
gonna
I'm dissing on talking shit on Tim, but it's more,
I'm gonna start
just being honest.
I'm going to start a sour-focused homebrew club called the Pellicle Cats.
Yes.
When you join the Pellicle Cats, you have to make the Pellicle choice to go, and then once a year, we're going to have a Pellicle Ball.
I'm down.
So the first beer up, this is called Tears of the Algonquin. This is, I think it's a 6.9%. He calls it a fruit beer on Untapped, Mark. And these 2 beers are made with this fruit called pawpaw. And I have never heard of pawpaw fruit before. He talked about it with his note that he sent with these beers. And according to Wikipedia, pawpaw fruit is off of like a plant that is native to the eastern United States and Canada. And they're large, yellowish green to brown. And they're a fruit. And they are typically used for making ice cream and baked desserts, and they have a custardish flavor, somewhat similar to banana, mango, and pineapple. So
the pictures look kind of like a papaya on the inside. It's like a yellowy flesh with like big seeds.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It actually kind of reminds me of
papayas are pink, huh?
It kind of looks like cocoa nibs to me a little bit.
Yeah.
Like the cocoa fruit and then
maybe on the outside,
What's cool is he noted that they foraged it. He said he foraged the fruits along James River in Richmond, Virginia. And he also noted that the groves of pawpaw trees that are apparently all over Richmond are remnants of pawpaw plantations maintained by the Powhatan tribe of Native Americans.
Oh, that's really cool.
So the name is also kind of a reference to that tribe, the Tears of Algonquin.
That's really cool. I just noticed here that another description says that they have a subtle yeastiness, and it says actually a floral aftertaste, a bit like an unfiltered wheat beer. So how about that?
Wow, that's an interesting thing to put in there. That kind of works perfectly with the beer, right?
For a wheat ale, it's a lot browner than I'd expect.
Yeah.
It's got kind of a Dunkelweiss color to it. It's a little murky.
It does look a little muddy.
It's got a lot of bubbles.
But it's got a nice little foam on top that's still lingering on my pour, so which is a really good sign. I love a good wheat head on top of a wheat ale.
And there's like a tropical fruitiness on the nose. There's definitely that tropical fruit character.
I'm getting a lot of like blueberry and coconut.
All right.
I'm not really getting much mango or banana or anything like that Wikipedia says, but I guess it would depend on the tree and when it was harvested and stuff like that. But it smells delicious. It smells very fruity and like ripe fruits.
So drinking this beer, there's a definite like chocolatey roasty character to it that you don't get on the nose, which is I guess where that brown color is coming from.
Yeah, I'm with you on that.
Yeah, and more that big fruity, like almost fruity pebbles, sort of on the palate. Very nice fruity flavor, and then like a really harsh, not harsh, but like a very firm bitterness that cleans up on the end. Really interesting mouthfeel.
Yeah, if I would have guessed
dry.
based on the description of this beer, I would expect it to be very light and fruity, but it is not that. It's a bit of a heavier beer. It's got that kind of dark malt character to it, the roasty stoutiness. I would think it would come through as more of like a raisin dark fruit, but it doesn't really. It does come through kind of stouty, right?
It seems like what he's going for here, according to what you guys are saying, is kind of a Dunkelweizen with more emphasis on the banana and maybe like giving it like a fruit twist with the pawpaw fruit. Because I didn't expect it to be dark. I thought it would be a lighter wheat beer, but it's darker, so it's likely he's going for that dark wheat beer Dunkelweizen kind of thing. It makes sense to use the pawpaw fruit.
Yeah, and nearly 7% too. I think you said 6.9. It's pretty heavy for just your standard wheat beer. But yeah, you mentioned like the kind of the Dunkel sort of thing. It does come across that way. I feel like if you had that like tinge of Belgian yeast in here, you'd be right in that same vein. Like it's just kind of missing that. It's missing that little bit of funk that you'd find in the Dunk.
Really?
Yeah. Did he note what yeast they used?
No, he didn't.
Funk in the Dunk?
Yeah, funk in the Dunk. Or taking a dunk in the funk.
I like that. You need a little funk in your Dunk.
Don't fake the funk on a nasty Dunk.
Make a shirt out of that, John.
Yep.
But there is some alcohol heat on there. After it cleans up, you do exhale a little bit of little booziness comes out.
It does have
also
kind of
sticky lips.
It does have kind of a roundabout Belgian-y character to it, but not just kind of in the fruitiness and the malt, kind of the aftertaste is like you drank a Belgian-y beer, but you don't have the phenols from that yeast that really give it that Belgian character. So it's a really interesting beer, and also very clean. I mean, the looks wise, it did look kind of muddy. Otherwise, I'm not catching any off flavors in this beer at all.
Does it have like an effervescence to you guys? Like the bubbles kind of linger a little bit at the end?
I don't know.
Maybe it's just
like a pretty normal level of prickliness and carbonation, I would say.
Okay.
But yeah, I think it's a successful beer all the way around. It's a surprising beer, and I'm curious what the overall flavor profile he was aiming for. But it ends up being kind of like a stout with this like undercurrent of sweetness that gives you like a brighter character that makes it not as bitter and big to drink,
Yeah, I really like the beer. I would my only nitpick is it's just a little bit too bitter for my palate on the finish. Like if that was dialed back maybe 15 IBU or something like that, I think it'd be right in my wheelhouse of like a sort of like a fruity brown ale. Like I forget the name of the brewery, but they did a blueberry stout, and God, it was probably like 10 years ago, like old school craft beer, and it had that vibe, like this candy like vibe, which I really like. Sort of brings me back to that beer. Although it was like Shipyard or something.
I'm really curious how this fruit would go in like a straight up Dunkel. Just like
smashed blueberry. Sorry, Jason. Start that over. I'm sorry, I totally interrupted you.
I was going to say, I think if this beer was I'd love to see this fruit in a just traditional Dunkel with that banana-y, German Weizen or German Hefeweizen yeast, get that banana-y character, mix it with this fruit and more of a sweet malt. I wonder how that would go together. I think that would be kind of a cool flavor. Maybe it would be a little too desserty.
That's what I thought he was going for just by what I saw from the color, like I said, and him saying straight up, the first thing he said was it's a wheat-based ale. So you think dark wheat, that is going to be probably going to be a Dunkelweizen. And it seems like he wasn't going for that, which is fine. That's just what, what I would assume it was if I had the beer and I poured it out, like, oh, this is probably a Dunkelweizen. And then Greg says it almost comes off like a brown ale or stout. And that just sounds odd. Not that it's bad. It's like, oh, okay, I didn't expect that.
And if you would give it to me blind, there's no way I would pick out a Dunkelweizen other than the color, maybe.
Yeah.
The character of the fruit, though, is really cool. And I think it's a unique flavor that I haven't tried in a beer before. So I'd like to see that fruit explored in different beer styles to see how it goes.
Yeah, it almost has now as it warms up, it gets a little strawberry vibe. Kind of picks out like a chocolate covered strawberry.
That's a really good. That's a very
it is also a nice bright fruitiness. It's not like a dull. It's not like a dull beer. It has a nice brightness to it, which is really refreshing. Almost, it's really well done. Cheers, Mark. Dude, good
it's
stuff,
unexpected and interesting. I think that's kind of what I'm looking for these days.
Yeah, I wonder what the finishing gravity is. It does come. My lips are a little sticky after a sip.
He didn't give any details beyond like a general description of the beers. So, which is fine. Give as much information as you want.
There's a handful. It looks like there's a few Pawpaw wheats based off Untapped, Upland, and Jackie O.
Oh, I can see that.
And
must
a couple
be East
others.
Coast. I've never heard of it before this beer.
So apparently, it's a. It
looks like the Southeast.
Well, it's a North American indigenous. I think it said it's the largest tree fruit. I closed the tab, but it's indigenous to North America.
It's you're talking about the pawpaw fruit.
Yeah, the pawpaw.
Yep.
Eastern United States and Canada. Yeah.
If you look, it's mostly the Southeast. Like here on Wikipedia, I'm not sure if we can zoom this thing in, but yeah, you can see here it's mostly the kind of Southeast up in towards a bit of the Midwest.
It barely touches Canada. Yeah, the article says one thing, then the map shows another. So
it's technically correct, but yeah.
Yeah, again, it's barely touching Canada. So technicalities, but
that is parts of Canada. 1 square foot of Canada is still a part of Canada.
Yes.
Some guy hucked some over the Niagara Falls, and so
some of the pawpaw made it past customs. Well, my Wookie Jack, this beer, God, when's the last time I had this beer? 3 years ago, I think, is when they last released it. And we had mentioned the artwork on the can. And yeah, the artwork on this is just really, really cool. They went away from the traditional Firestone Walker. Like the label I think it had before was similar to the other, like when Double Jack was a thing and all that. It's like a white background and, it looked nice, but it was just, they had a theme with all of their labels. This is a departure from that. This is it's got a lot of purple and green in it. It's got looks like some kind of a,
it's got a psychedelic concert poster vibe.
Yeah, that's what it reminds me of. And the guy, it's a dude with long hair, like elven ears, holding a mash paddle like a guitar kind of thing, and it's got the lion and the bear on it. It's very cool. It stands out on the shelf, like totally. Thing is you can't buy it on a shelf because every time they brew it and release it online, it sells out. So,
oh really?
Yeah,
oh, I was it. Good God.
I was able to pick some up, and it was shipped, and I had it in less than 24 hours. Was delivered, like I said, at noon.
That's the guy on the label. Is the guy on the label a Merlin? Like, is that like Brynildson in cartoon form?
That's a good call. Maybe like that's the dude.
This one,
that's sort of like D&D Merlin, sort of.
Yeah,
I don't know. Jason, what's your ruling?
Yeah, I think so. I'm going to say it's Brynildson.
The new. So there's.
I think the model with these beers, like when you leave them on the shelf, everyone's like, "Oh, that beer, I see it all the time." They just got to McRib these beers, where they're like, "All right, Wookie Jack's been gone for 9 months, and guess what? Wookie Jack's back." And people are like, "Fuck yeah, it's back!" And they buy all of it.
I think that's fine. Like, why? It doesn't have to be like a core beer that's made year round. If Stone was saying that sales were declining for Sublimely Self-Righteous, I'm not gonna say they were lying. Like they couldn't justify brewing it year round. But if they want to bring it back once a year, like the McRib, go for it. I'll buy it. Maybe I don't want to drink it year round. I don't know. Maybe I like having it as a treat.
I like to imagine that Stone's CEO, who's like just some business guy, he's just like, so the Sublime beer that AleSmith's got. They're selling like hotcakes. We got that Sublime beer. What happened to that?
Stone CEO is a woman now.
Oh, is it? Okay.
Yeah.
Well, it'd be funny if she talked like that.
But comparing this to Stone's Sublimely Self-Righteous, it's got way less roast, way less dark malt character on the flavor. It's more fruity, more chocolatey, I would say. It comes off a bit lighter, even though this one is, what's the alcohol on this? Oh my God, this is 8.3. I did not expect that.
It's a durable.
This is very good for 8.3. I mean, I think this is better than Sublimely. Not that, I'm putting them head to head and judging which one should be better, but
why not do it? Judge them. John,
I like them. I'm saying because I like them both, but I
say
could
bad things about beer. Say fuck them, fucking Stone. Your beer
your
beer sucks.
I don't think Sublimely sucks. That's my point. I think it's a very good beer. I think this is more enjoyable for the style because it comes off smoother and more chocolatey. I think Sublimely is Stone, right? It's got more of a bitter edge. It's a little more harsh, a little more abrasive. Where this
is 10 years ago Stone too, not the new Stone that's making Blue Moon now.
Yeah, I'm like, what is Stone?
Roasted again.
Did you see that? They're making a fucking Blue Moon beer.
No, wait, what?
They're making a Belgian white.
There's a Belgian white with like an orange in the label, and they're calling it Daybreak, I think.
Oh, okay.
They're literally just making Blue Moon.
Well, good luck with that.
Sorry, Stone.
Stone Brewing.
So,
I was just talking to Yvonne about Stone yesterday. We were coming back from Bevmo, and I know Jason's still pretty anti-Stone and whatnot. I just wish Stone would go back to. I don't know what they did with their beers. Like their recipes are just. I don't think they're working. What brought this conversation on was some numbers were posted. I think the Full Pint retweeted it. Stone is in their ongoing lawsuit against Keystone, talking about declining numbers of Stone IPA because of Keystone. And I'm just like, what? How do you blame that on Keystone? Like, people are looking for Stone IPA. Instead, they accidentally buy Keystone and go, oops. This is the same thing, right? That doesn't make any sense.
I just wish Stone would bring back their just be an IPA leader again. I think they were at one point like, the Stone IPA was like the gold standard for a while, and then Green Flash came out with their West Coast IPA, and like they had a little thing, they had a scene going based around that, and it's long gone.
And it wasn't just their core IPA that was a leader. Like, you knew if Stone made an IPA, it's good, right? Like, if Pizza Port makes an IPA, I know it's going to be good. If El Segundo makes an IPA, I know I can trust that it's going to be good.
Yeah.
There was a time I would say the same thing about Stone, but that is not now. If I grab one of their random IPAs off the shelf, it's probably fine.
The brewery that took Stone's spot in that category is Pizza Port. Like, you can reliably buy any Pizza Port beer, especially the hoppy ones, and know that they're going to be good.
100%.
And I don't think Pizza Port changed Swami's all that much over the years. Of course, that the beer probably changed with the times and the hops and all that and ingredients, but whatever Stone did, like, I still buy Stone IPA from time to time, but again, it's like, well, there's nothing else. I don't want to buy like lager or light lager. I guess I'll buy IPA, like Stone IPA. It's fine.
Well, it beats Voodoo Ranger.
Barely.
Anyway, this evolved into a Stone conversation from Firestone. But yeah.
Well, I mean, it's same.
Firestone reliably makes good IPA. Like,
exactly.
Whatever the newest, what do they call? I want to call it Hopalicious. What the fuck are those beers called? The Luponic Distortion. There you go. Yeah.
Bubonic Plague.
Those are those are reliably good. You know what's funny is they almost scared off my girlfriend because she's like, "Oh, on the bottle on the box it says blueberry, and I don't want an IPA with blueberry." I'm like,
"Yeah, it's a little misleading."
That's just like kind of what the hops taste like. So no, it's fine. It's just real IPA.
Yeah, in the chat, Leninade said Stone's lineup is muddled. What do you choose? Stone IPA, but then there's Delicious IPA. Does that mean it's better?
But then there's Tiki Bowl and Scorpion, and
they're all
true.
They're all
Ghost
kind of samey, right? They all just I can't really identify one from the other. They have like that Stone essence about them, but it's not good. Like
I
it's just.
I just want to go back to the day when Tangerine Express was amazing and novel.
Yeah, right.
I mean, I just want to go back to the days when Stone made good IPA. Like what? Not that Stone IPA is bad. I just don't like it. It's not like it's poorly made or anything.
It's meh.
Enough hate.
Meh.
I'm not hating. I'm
going back to the black IPA thing. So
Firestone rules.
Your black IPA, what I found with the Stone is I liked it a lot more when it warmed up a little bit. Is that the same case with this?
It's still pretty cold, but I imagine when it warms up, it'll probably get a little roastier, a little more bitter. But so far,
hey, look at that Stone.
Up, it's fine.
Is it good cold? Because the Stone one was like, oh,
it's excellent cold. Okay. I think it being cold lessens the bitterness and the roastiness from the malts, and lets the fruit really stand out. Like it's more IPA like when it's cold, and I think when it warms up, it'll be more, on the stout side of things. It's a very, very good beer. I want a
t-shirt with that logo on it too, man. That logo is pretty sweet.
Yep, I agree.
I'm sure they have one somewhere.
What do we want to try? Do we want to try this McNulty one?
Let's do it.
Let's do it.
So up next from Mark, this is a beer he calls. These are for you, McNulty. What's that from? Who's McNulty? What show is that from? Is that a movie?
The Wire.
The Wire. Okay. I only watched like the first 3 episodes of the first season, and I know everyone says The Wire is awesome once you get past the second season. I just never made it through the first season. So.
Oh, I just found the clip. Apparently, it's what he's given him are a couple of these.
Couple middle fingers, and that's actually what's on.
That's for McNulty.
I've not seen that at all. So, hey, there it is.
I've never seen The Wire, so I'm not sure.
Irish-inspired Braggot Saison.
Yeah, he said.
This honey. That's right.
Let's see.
I forgot about Braggot. Is the honey beer?
It's a mead beer, right? It's a mix.
Yeah, it's like a half beer, half mead. I had one of those from who did it? Golden Road did a Braggot at one point with a really cool can.
Yeah, that was based on, because I was at the episode they filmed with the homebrew show.
Yeah.
Oh, right.
I covered that on Drinking Socially back in the day.
I tried all those beers because I was there, and that was literally the worst one. And I was like,
weird.
What?
It was weird.
There was 2 guys from New Orleans who did a hazy IPA that was bomb diggity. And they were the coolest people there. And there was another gal who was from Canada who had this beer that she made with like golden fruit or something like that. That was also just mind-blowingly good. And then there was this Braggot people from San Diego, and it was like, dude, it tasted like tobacco. it was like,
The woman who hosted a show showcasing homebrewers is also the same woman who said something along the lines of homebrewers couldn't make good beer in their bathtub if they tried or something like that.
Right.
So fuck Meg.
No names.
Area codes.
Area codes.
Oh God.
Matthew Bennelson in your 805.
This beer does not have an ABV on it, but I get some heat on the nose. I don't know about you guys.
It is also made with Baltimore wildflower honey and Irish multi-backbone is what it says. It does smell boozy. Yeah, if I had to guess, there's a lot of alcohol in there.
I get
perfuminess, maybe
definitely get like the Braggot mead kind of aspect from it. You can smell, I think the honey. It's a little spicy, I think, on the nose.
Yeah, I get floral, like a floral spiciness.
Perfumey is a perfect thing because there's alcohol, like a bit of a floralness, but a lot of alcohol on the nose.
Yeah, I think the floral notes are working kind of well with the alcohol. Like it's coming off like kind of boozy sweet on the nose with but not potpourri kind of flowery, but just a little hint like you can smell it blowing in the wind.
Is it borderline? Is it borderline phenolic though? I'm kind of on the
nose. Phenolic, wow.
On the back end, I get a little little medicinal kick on the finish, but going back to the nose, it really has this like a florist. If you ever go to a florist, like it smells like just fresh flowers. It smells great. But yeah,
this tastes. I mean, yeah, this tastes like it's got some alcohol in it. It's not off-putting. You can. It's. When I saw it was made with honey and it's like a braggot mead kind of thing, I kind of expected this. But I think if I would have seen an alcohol like percentage on there, I would be prepared for it. If you just open this up, not knowing anything about what honey or meads are or braggots or anything like that, you might be off put by it because it's got a bit of a boozy nose and it's a little hot on the flavor.
It feels like it's got to be over 10%. If it's not, I'm shocked because I get a lot of alcohol on this.
It finishes very fucking dry. Oh wow, like it's got a nice sweetness to it. It's not like roasty or anything. It's definitely more fruity, sweet, a little bit of a honey character, but it does finish really, really dry.
Yeah, the color of it's sort of a ruby red copper almost. It looks really pretty. The color's really nice. It's hard to tell in my room. That's also sort of reddish, but
he said he used a saison yeast on it, but I'm not getting much of that. I'm not getting much of that saison yeast profile. You know, the character that you get out of like a 3711 or something. Like I'm not getting that estery character that you'd get.
Yeah, I do get a little bit of a phenolic sort of medicinal finish on it. That's my only complaint with it. But otherwise, it's not like it's going to stop me from enjoying it. It's still enjoyable and it tastes really good. But holy hell, it's got some booze in there, and you're going to get.
It is sweet and hot. Like there's no way I could finish 12 ounces of this. It's a booze. It's a big beer.
This feels like a beer that should be like a blending component of something else. Because like if you put it in a barrel and let it sit for a while, just to see what happens, and then, use it, like I said, to blend with something else, to kind of, cut it. It feels too big to enjoy in one sitting. It's a taster beer.
This is also honestly kind of a problem I tend to have on mead in general, which sweet and hot tends to be where most meads end up unless you back flavor them with something else, right?
Oh my God, you guys, I bought honey to make a mead for Aaron as like a little home project. Mm-hmm. So I'm getting some fermentation going in the house again.
Sweet.
Oh.
But yeah, I'd be curious the ratio of how much of this is honey or mead and how much is malt, because the malt flavor isn't coming through very much at all. I don't know if that was by design. It's got a lot of the color of the malt, right? The beer, the braggot is pretty dark in color, but it's sounding like he's saying Irish malts. I'm guessing he used some sort of like red malts in there. But you're not getting much of that character, like some caramelly character. I think maybe he was trying to get that in here, but I'm not getting it coming through. But I think that would help if you had some caramel malt kind of character in the profile. It would probably make it a bit offsetting to that big alcohol bite, right? Kind of give you more of a little barley wine character.
Yeah,
I guess.
You know what this beer the braggot reminds me of is a Long Island iced tea.
It kind of looks like
it's got the lemon.
Too.
It's got like a lemony sort of brightness to it. That squeeze a big lemon in your Long Island.
Beyond the alcohol and the hot nose and flavor, it tastes good. It doesn't taste poorly made. Like I said, I think the dry finish is a necessity on this because it's so hot. But it's not like it's oxidized or infected or phenolic on the flavor. I don't think it's phenolic at all on the flavor. Like I don't get any kind of a plastic kind of phenol thing. It's mostly heat, and of course that's a big downside. But for what it is, I don't think it's. I don't think it has a lot of flaws outside of the booziness, which I think is more. He has to rework the recipe or figure out what this is supposed to be.
I would say, yeah. I mean, maybe he's going for this boozy heat, and again, in mead, it's pretty common. But for my taste, I would like something to balance the heat a little bit more. And like you said, I don't think there's quality concerns with it as much as I might tweak the recipe design to give some more of a back to it, to balance off that sweet heat.
Yeah, my only concern would be the slight sort of medicinal finish on it. Maybe it was too high of a fermentation temperature, or maybe a stressed out yeast. I'm not sure, but otherwise it's really good.
Not enough funk in the dunk.
Speaking of heat,
I'm gonna go grab my my Pliny. I'll be right back.
I'm so excited. You guys are all younger veterans.
Have you not had it before?
Nope.
Oh, sick.
I'm prepared to be completely disappointed from what it is in my head.
That's good.
Before we move on to the Pliny, I just again want to say thanks to Mark for sending these beers.
Yeah, thank you.
It's. I mean, we love trying other people's homebrew. Normal times, we've had homebrewers on the show. It's always fun having people on the show that homebrew and trying their beer. So if you do want to send us beer, by all means, hit us up and we will oblige. That being said, we are moving on to Wales, I guess. We're opening Pliny the Younger from 2021. This beer's going on, 3 weeks old at this point? It was bottled on the 3rd of February, so we're at 25 days, I guess. So a little over 3 weeks, which I think is fine.
Oh, it's right in the wheelhouse.
Yeah.
I think a lot of restaurants release their Pliny all through February. Like I know Beechwood does theirs in like early March. So, woo!
Oh man, it smells. The aroma on this coming out of the bottle is just like grassy field, like super green.
So Tim, have you had this beer before?
I have never had Pliny the Younger.
This is your first time.
Yep.
Wow. I said, that's kind of cool.
I know it's always been. It's like it's built up as this like legend in my head, but I know to based off of always talking to you guys and people in general. I know like you got to temper your expectations because it's not this. It's at the end of the day, it's a special beer, but it's not like drinking the nectar of the gods.
I would say that's about any beer, though, right? Like if you build up this massive expectation in your head, no beer is going to live up to that. I don't care what it is.
Well, here's the thing: like Pliny the Elder is one of those beers that was always super hard to get, and then they brewed Younger, and holy shit, like the world lost their mind because the world's best brewer. I mean, Pliny the Elder was one of those top 100 beers on everything forever, and So
I mean,
I'm sorry.
I agree with you, but I'm excited to try it, and I want to just obviously thank you, John, and
thank my internet.
Thank you guys for picking it up.
For sure.
I got it on my phone.
Like
I had no issues buying the beer. It was easy peasy.
I was there and I was ready, and I think I had it in my cart, and then I stalking 101. Have your account ready, logged in, good to go, and I was just not. It was amateur hour on my end.
Yeah.
Hey, Andy Richter popped in on Twitch. What's up, Andy Richter?
Hey,
friend of the show.
What up?
Yeah, pro tips from the 4 brewers. Pro tips on getting these. Be logged in well before the sale starts. Use your phone and a computer. And in fact, mobile tends to work better in my experience.
Yeah, I found that
on all of them.
Purchase something like I did. I bought a face mask like 10 minutes before. So I knew my credit card number was in there and it was working. My shipping info was in there and working. And then as soon as it went live, boom, 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 I was done. And by the time I tried to get another or log out under somebody else's account, like it was gone.
Fun fact, I was standing underneath an elevator in what we call the pit when I ordered my Pliny. I was 4 feet below ground.
It was slowly coming down, and he had to place his order before it hit him.
The other big thing, though, is like 10 a.m. means 10 a.m. exactly. Like people will be like, "Oh, I went in at 10:05. It was already sold out." It's like,
oh yeah.
Of course.
I was 9:58 F5.
This is nothing new.
Right?
Like
No.
beer, like for beer sales, I guess if you don't buy anything else, like if you like buying like Nike shoes with the sneakers app, it's the same thing. Like you have to be there right there, and then they put you in a queue. Like they're like, okay, you're in line. We'll let you know if you get some, and then you got to wait.
Yep.
Like it's just how things go on the internet. Like
It's
you
every
gotta,
sale, and every sale now everyone's like, the bots took it. It's like, no, it's just popular, you dumb fuck.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Anyway,
All the PlayStation bots took all my Pliny. I
First
can't
time-
believe you, Russian River. I've been to your restaurant 3 times over 10 years, and I
Yeah.
spent at least $65 each time. Why did I not get one of these?
I can't. Yeah, I saw them like, and I've been through stocking of many other items, so I know how it goes. But like, I saw them on there being like, "We're so sorry for people who didn't get it. It was only the supply. Everything worked fine." And I'm just like, you people who are complaining, like, you didn't get it. Grow up.
yeah. If I didn't get it, if none of us got it, we didn't have it on the show, I'd be like, well, that sucks. Moving on.
Yeah.
Next year maybe.
Worth noting is every year that we did the Pliny Fights Cancer thing with Beechwood, we never actually went and got it.
That's an interesting
we
point.
were
Yeah,
invited to go, but we just never
They were
did.
like, you guys could come down to Seal Beach on Tuesday and get it with us. And we're like, Seal Beach on a Tuesday?
No, thank
I
you.
don't know.
Even me,
That's a hard
40-minute drive from Anaheim, and I'm like,
Yeah.
I'm good.
I
I
liked doing the Pliny Fights Cancer charity raffle just because
Yeah,
I
for
thought
sure.
I had a lot of fun doing those because it was
sure.
like a private party that they had where you weren't drinking Pliny, but you were drinking Beechwood beers and eating pizza. And like, I got to geek out and do my podcast and do internet things. Like it was
They're
right up my
friends.
alley.
It was great.
Yeah, they're
Yeah.
good people. They were good people. It was fun to
Gabe
hang out. And so it's like, and it's for a good cause, right? So why not? That was always why we did those.
Yeah.
I was gonna say
loved
my
doing
favorite
it.
thing, my favorite thing out of everything with Pliny the Younger is the people who didn't get it and are like, that beer's overrated.
Yeah.
That beer sucks anyways.
First time I had Pliny was from a growler that was muled down the day of. No, it wasn't the day of because it was on Super Bowl Sunday. So maybe it was on the day of. I can't remember precisely, but Julian Strego was there. We were at Dr. Bill's house when he lived in he lived off Chapman in Orange County. And it's the first time that was the first time I had Younger, and it was also the first time I had Foam Top from Beechwood before Beechwood was Beechwood, and Julian Strego was still a home brewer. So
Nice.
he
Wow.
brought Foam Top over like in a growler from his keg as a home brew. So it was a
Maybe.
pretty great day.
The first time I had
Better.
it was at Colonies in Riverside.
Yeah, that was another spot. They always got like a keg of it, and they were kind of low key craft beer spot. Like they were an Irish bar that like you walk in there and they looked like an Irish bar, which was kind of cliche. But they were pushed in the right direction by the right people to get craft beer and serve craft beer rather than like the stuff that BMC offers. And they got kegs of Younger every
Dope.
year, at least one. So yeah, I got it there too when they were having it. And I miss Colonies in Riverside. Aside from the issues with the owners, which is a different conversation that me and Jason could get into, having that spot in Riverside for what it was kind of cool.
Back in the
never
day,
really
there was
gotten-
like it was a
we've
drought
never-
for good craft beer in the IE for sure.
And
Yeah.
we've never really gotten back that quality of a craft beer spot. We've got a couple options, but that level of like a place that had a lot of taps and was open to the community like that we don't have it out here anymore. It never came back, so it's sad.
I'm sitting over here. I see you guys already sipping. I'm like, wait, is it not like a ceremonial like
Oh
first
yeah,
sip?
I guess we should talk
Drinking
about the
it, yeah.
beer.
It's all good.
Cheers, Tim. Cheers to you first. Dink.
Once again, not a
I
big
I haven't
Yeah,
deal.
drank
It's just
any. I
funny.
haven't drank any yet. This one's for Tim.
Cheers your
Yay.
cameras.
Cheers.
Woo.
All right, so Tim,
And on the 8th
what do you
day,
think?
Yeah, let's have the new palette talk.
Oh God, my palate's terrible. Why would you guys do that?
So
well, do you
I
like
have,
it? Yes or no?
I got 4 bottles of this along with Greg, and I had one the day I got it.
Same.
And I think we had this beer on the show not last year, but the previous year. I could be wrong about that.
It was last year. It was
last year.
Right when COVID was starting. Remember, it was that weird episode.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
Comparing to what I remember of those shows where we have had younger, this is good. This is, I think, the best I've had in recent memory. Aside from, I can't remember how it was when we were at Colonies. Like, it was fine, but recent memory. So, this one's on the good side of the spectrum.
This is better than I remember it ever. Honestly, like, and we've talked about this with El Segundo, right? The day one dankness stuff that they used to do, and that there's a bit of a arc of quality where right out of the fermenter, the beer does get a little better after a couple weeks, and so this beer, 3 weeks on it, it's really fucking good. Like, the hop character settled in. It is still boozy. It is still pretty hot and got a lot of alcohol sweetness.
Yeah,
but it's tasting a lot better than I remember. And am I getting Mosaic out of this? I swear there's Mosaic in here.
I don't know.
Do they say what's in younger?
I get a lot of ripe, like overripe papaya on the nose.
Yeah. So the nose is it definitely has that boozy sweetness. It's got that sort of like sweet alcohol IPA. Like, just like what I would expect from, like the triple IPA sort of category. Let's see.
God, that was a burp.
That was weird. It comes across as far as like it's got. I mean, to me, it's not hella bitter. Like, you expect super bitterness. To me, it's not that. It's not crazy bitter. It leaves quite a bit of bitter aftertaste, but it definitely has that sort of boozy triple IPA sweetness. I mean, I think I was mentioning, like, it's not any sort of like existential like craziness. It's really good. It's really good. But honest, I mean, I feel blasphemous, but I feel like I'd almost like Elder. Maybe it's just because I'm used to it and like it's got this sort of.
You don't say.
Yeah. The true wisdom of every actual beer nerd is, well, actually, I prefer Blind Take. But
there you go. It's really, I mean, it's really good for. I mean, obviously, I have nothing to compare it to, but so far, I mean, this is pretty fantastic.
I'm gonna go ahead and claim victory. There is Mosaic in here.
Really?
Yeah. So they added a new hop this year called Elixir, which I've never heard of. And then they also used Amarillo, Chinook, Citra, CTZ, Mosaic, Nelson, Simcoe, and Warrior.
God.
So wait, hold on. Is it easier just to list what they didn't use?
Right.
But I love Mosaic, and I'm pulling out that like kind of the really good like candied blueberry kind of Mosaic flavor that you get is coming through big in this beer. And also it's worth noting, like, a lot of those hops weren't around when they started making this beer. So they've clearly been evolving the recipe, which is cool.
Well, I think it has to change every year, and I've had it maybe like 8 times, and this is well above and beyond better than any time I've had it on draft at any bar. It's just so much more. It's much more a cohesive beer that's well rounded. Like it fits together now. Like before, I used to call it like a hop wine.
Yeah,
it was just like booze and hops and not 100% much malt backbone.
Yes.
Is this the first year they bottled?
No, it's the second.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, I would venture to say the fact of, like, if you're having it on draft, there's too many variables that can go into changing what you're tasting. So this is probably the closest you're going to get to the best quality control from the brewery.
I would say the draft lines of the places that get Pliny the Younger are generally going to be top notch. They very much, they only give Russian River beer to the best accounts anyways. Yeah. And then they only give Younger to the best of those accounts. So, so you're getting pretty top notch crowd.
Okay.
Going back, like I said, I had this beer on day one. I actually posted a video on YouTube about it. And the thing that I got from it initially was I could smell like the heat on the nose. Like it was pretty big. This time around, it is not like that. It's got more of like that fruity floral hop aroma coming through. Again, when I smelled it in the video, like it was hot. I'm like, oh yeah. And then even when I tasted it, it was like I could feel it burning off of my tongue. That's not the case now. I really think letting these super high alcohol hoppy beers age for a month is something worthwhile. It sounds counterintuitive, but it's a thing that happens. The day one dankness, it's really cool. Like in theory and as a novelty to get a beer that was in a fermenter 6 hours ago in a can in your hand, like that's pretty cool. But in practice, it doesn't really work. That beer needs time to kind of develop in the can or to age in the can.
Quick question. Is this classified as a triple IPA?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I've had a handful of triple IPAs before, and I'd say like if you were to compare, like this is definitely more on the more drinkable side. Like usually when I have a triple IPA, I only do it just for the hell of it because it's like, oh, it's a triple IPA, and they're just like they come across so sweet. And I'm just, if I'm gonna have something that's gonna be hoppy, like I don't necessarily want that sweetness factor. And I feel like this is a really mellow blend of it that makes it enjoyable.
Yeah, Jason. I think I don't know if anybody heard Jason's podcast. He was on the Hopped LA podcast with
Hobby.
Hobby. Yeah,
who's hanging in the chat, by the way? What shout out?
I listened to half of it last night. Driving around, and you make some really good points about triple IPA. And I don't think some of your points were like a triple IPA goes out of balance because you can only balance so much alcohol with hops. Like it just becomes a mess. But I think this beer kind of proves you wrong a little bit. Like
it's the
in
best
previous
version.
years, absolutely.
Yeah, it's the best version of triple IPA. And maybe the key is that this has a little time on it, right? I've never had younger that was 3 weeks old. You usually get it like, it went in a keg, it went to the bar, they put it on that fucking morning, and right. It is 5 days old when you drink it. And I
mean, aside from Beechwood, when they would do the raffle and then a week later, or whatever, you'd get the beer, I think it would sit in kegs at Beechwood for a week and a half or 2 weeks or something like that. So you didn't get it ultra fresh at Beechwood either, which again, I don't think that was planned. It was just like, well, we can't do the raffle until we actually get the beer. So that's just how it worked out. But if you're within a month of the packaging date, you're going to be fine. I just think that if you do give it more time, it's a positive thing for beers like this.
I mean, nobody's going to encounter this beer on the shelf, right? You have to go out of your way to get it. And you're going to get it when it's very, very fresh. And what we're seeing here, and what it seems like a couple weeks does this beer a lot of good. Yep. And I think that's the same for every IPA. I've had a lot of IPAs that are like, this was packaged 2 days ago. And when you try the package that was done today versus the package that was done 2 weeks ago, a little bit of time to mellow in the bottle helps. It's kind of it goes up and then it starts going down.
It's the same with homebrew. You figure with if you're brewing an IPA, it's like, I dry hop this 3 times and I let it cold crash and it's been crashing for 3 days. It's clear, it's ready to package. I'm gonna let it sit on CO2 for 72 hours and bam, it's gonna be awesome. Mm-hmm. And then you drink it and it's like, that's not that great. But if you let it sit for a couple of weeks, let everything kind of mellow out and do its thing. It tastes a lot better.
I always make that argument with burritos. I always buy an extra one, put one in the fridge for the next day, and then the next day one's always better because it's had time to like marinate all the juices of
pizza too.
Triple down.
Yep. Next day pizza famously better.
How do you cook the burrito the next day? Like microwave or toaster oven?
Throw in the microwave, man.
But then like the tortilla's all like limp and soggy.
Just eat it with the fork, man.
Exactly.
Okay. I will say, Jason, for next day pizza, putting it in a toaster oven is fantastic. Like,
but just don't forget that it's in the oven.
Well, yeah, don't put the box in there and turn the oven on, because
that's a pro tip.
My girlfriend learned a trick from her grandma and reheats pizza on like a skillet.
Mm-hmm. That's supposed to be one of the better ways to do it because it crisps up the crust.
I saw somebody was using an air fryer to do it. I'm like, that's pretty genius.
People use an air fryer for everything.
Air fryer, toaster oven, they're basically the same thing.
Air fryer is like a lifestyle. Well, the air fryer's got convection. The toaster oven doesn't.
My toaster oven has a convection fan in it too.
What?
Fancy pants. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, doesn't that make it a convection oven and not a toaster oven, brah?
There's no gas, so it's using electricity. I don't know.
Tim's got the haircut that he has to say bra now legally.
What's up, bro?
Bras, what's up?
I'm catching up, man. If COVID keeps up much longer, I'm gonna be getting on Tim's level.
Jason, Greg, have you had any haircuts since March?
I have not.
May was the last time I got my haircut.
I couldn't. No, I look like a creep with long hair.
I mean, what else am I gonna do? Shave it? Then I look like a fucking white supremacist.
There you go.
Yvonne cut my hair, and she did a fairly good job. Like she's done it 3 times now, and I have no complaints.
I think it's been like 6 years since a real haircut.
Long hair works on you. Like people don't realize how tall. Like I think you're like what 6'4" or something.
No, I'm just 6.
You're 6 foot tall.
Yeah,
I'm 6. How are you? Oh, maybe I'm not 6.
We haven't seen each other in like 5 years.
We have these warped views.
I swear you're taller than me. Okay, well,
I remember Tim being something of a slender man, and his face just a blur.
Not anymore. That COVID-19 really put it on. No longer the slender.
I'm gonna brag. I've only gained 5 pounds since March.
Well, that's because you run like a road runner.
Well, I got to keep it.
Keep
things in check, man. So, overall thoughts on Younger?
10 out of 10.
Yeah,
this is the by far like night and day better than any version of Younger I've ever had. Like by a huge amount, this is better than any Younger that I've had. Like I don't know how they did the difference here. I don't know if it's the age or what. But
what if it's the mosaic? Like, what if this is the first year they used mosaic? We just didn't.
Well, don't you guys have hookups? Why can't you just ask? Speed dial someone.
We don't have hookups like that. That's the brewing network.
Dude, if you email Natalie Chilurzo, you'll get an email back within like an hour.
That's true. Usually. They're very good with that. Yeah.
So I've checked into Younger 7 times, and those are, I think, all different years. So I've had it a lot, and this is the best version they've done. So it's crazy to me that Russian River, at operating at such a high level, being an older brewery, it continues to evolve and continues to get better and continues to make their beers better without kind of ruining the spirit of what you want out of their beers. Just goddamn, they're impressive. Like, there's a reason they're one of the best breweries in the world.
Is this one brewed on their Windsor system? I think last year's was the first time that they brewed Younger on that system.
I don't know about
the second year.
No, I think they did it. I think
this is a good question to ask. Okay.
Because I remember I was still doing Drinking Socially when they first opened for release at Windsor. So that was at least 2-3 years ago.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm not sure, but I think this is the first time it was brewed at Windsor, and that's a whole different. That's a $20 million brewery, like with a whole different setup and like
science and labs. And shit.
They have open fermentation vessels and the yeast. They have like a yeast ramp where when the krausen comes up, it just falls and they collect it. It's fucking wild. So I think that may have made a difference, or I could be completely wrong. I don't know.
I mean, as a first timer, I think it's fantastic. It's got all the elements that you expect from Russian River. I will say, like it's not this transcendental experience that you like people build it up to be sometimes. It's really solid. It's a nice triple IPA. It's not overly sweet. The boozy heat isn't that bad, which I think, as you mentioned, is kind of courtesy of letting it sit a little bit. I mean, it's fantastic. It has everything that you expect from a Russian River beer, with just that like extra super kind of coolness of, I don't know, pretty much every hop in existence.
Yeah. I've heard critics say that it's a syrupy mess and blah, blah, blah. I don't get any of that. There's no syrupy. It's very dry. I will say the only thing it could use is some pawpaw fruit.
Yeah. Throw that in there.
Just to, A little bit,
little
maybe
bit
like
of
two berries,
custard and banana.
And I will say, in defense of breweries like Russian River, their beers get a reputation as being, holy shit, this is transcendental, because they were maybe, not this good, but Pliny the Younger in 2008 was like 90% as good as this, when every other beer was like 30% as good as this.
That's true.
And,
That's a good point,
and the overall quality of IPA from 2010 to 2020 went up exponentially, right? The whole market got so much better at IPA.
Got better.
Yeah,
hops got better.
But hoppy beer in 2010 was like real fucking hit or miss.
Yeah, that's fair.
There was a lot of shitty hoppy beer coming out around then. And breweries like Russian River were head and shoulders above the rest of the field. The rest of the field got way better. Russian River is still right up there with the top guys. It's just now you're like, I can buy off the shelf beer that is on par with the best IPA in the world.
Well, and Russian River also, they've managed to not have to go the gimmicky route. They've done some changes to some things. They've come out with a couple of other things, but even the things that they've come out with, like Happy Hops, like even that, like that didn't stray that far from what they're known for. And even now you've got, like, you had Pliny for President, and now I'm pretty sure that was a double dry hop Pliny, and now they're actually selling just DDH Pliny as a separate thing. But even then, you're taking Pliny, which is classic and delicious, and you're kind of you're tweaking it. You're not coming out with a new. Yeah, you're not coming out with a new line. You're not coming out with some new character to try and sell your beer. You are a veteran who has a following and makes spectacular product, and that's what you rely on.
You're not ripping off somebody's IP and canning it.
Exactly. And I think that's just that just goes to show that they have the skill, and it's not going to change.
Yeah, I think again, back to what Jason said, this is I think probably the best younger we've had, and I'm here for it. I'm not going to say it's fun. It's always interesting when younger comes out, because it's like, is it going to be a hot mess, or is it going to be something great? And I think this year, given the circumstances, even they pulled off something great.
Yeah.
And another thing I want to add is, usually with younger, like, you're around people when you are trying it for the first time, or you're trying that year's release for the first time. So it's a bit different from trying it alone in your home. Like, when you open a bottle, like, there's no like fun or excitement of being around your friends, and that kind of changes things. It really does.
It's an event is really the big thing. It's not just a beer. It is an event, and it is a moment in time, and that's why it remains how it is. If they just threw this on the shelf every day, it would lose its specialness, and I kind of like that they keep it special. And Russian River, I think, has done a really good job keeping all of their beer special. They're not flooding the market. Unlike every other fucking brewery who's apparently like exponential growth will go on forever, Russian River has done a really good job of slowly increasing supply without flooding the market. So their beer still is special. It's kind of still a find.
Yeah,
and I like that.
And even though, like, to that point, even though my local Whole Foods carries multiple Russian Rivers now that I don't normally see around, you still, like, it's still sometimes hit or miss if there's plenty in. Like, sure, it's widely available, but it's not like, oh, okay, there's another Pliny, good to go. You know?
We have yet to be able to buy a 12-pack of Pliny in SoCal. Like, it's not at that level yet. We still buy individual bottles.
Exactly. And I'm totally cool with that. Like, I'd rather
most of the places are one bottle limit.
Yep. Still,
because the Pliny Bros.
So overall, this was a great show, I think. Again, if you can get the Wookie Jack, I think it still might be for sale on Firestone Walker's website. Pick it up. It's worth a buy. Mark Pellicle, thank you so much for the homebrews. They were, interesting and good for the most part. And like I said before, if you're a homebrewer and you want to send us beer, hit us up and we'll gladly try your beer.
Papa.
I guess we'll end it there. I don't know. I tried.
Yeah, that was good.
All right.
Good show, man.
Meemaw.
Yeah, I feel like you should take this the Pliny the Younger bit and then put that on YouTube as a clip.
Really?
Probably be pretty good.
Like separate from the clip that's the show that's already going to be on YouTube? Okay.
Yeah,
that does make sense.
It's
okay.
one beer.
I could see that.
And people want to, like, younger people care about. They want to know about it.
Yeah. Okay. That's easy.
Hey, you guys, I bought a car.
Another one?
Another?
I traded in my Focus. Yeah.
Oh.
What'd you get?
Lost your focus.
Wait,
It's not.
didn't you have a Honda?
No. You had a Ford Focus.
Oh, was that a
Ford
Focus?
Yeah.
Blue, was it blue?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought that was a Civic, like the cool racing Civic.
No. Weirdly, the Civic is too boy racer for me.
Oh, okay.
It has like red seats, and that's too much.
Yeah,
like that's too extra.
I would buy a Civic.
You traded the Focus. And
well, the Civic Type R, is too boy racer. I bought this car. This specific.
Ooh, car. Audis are sexy.
Did you buy it from Carvana?
Yes, it'll be arriving at my home on next Sunday.
Oh, nice.
That's hot.
What are the as far as like quality concerns, like a lot of like minor things, or
we'll see how it goes. I've never owned a German car before.
Dude, how is the Carvana experience? Because I've looked on that site many times, and it's almost like buying stuff off of Amazon. That's how easy it seems to be.
There's a little bit extra, right? Like you have to upload like scans of your registration and your driver's license and shit. But like literally, you take a picture of it with your phone and upload it. But it compared to buying a car, I did it in my spare time while I was at work.
Did they give you different like
30 minutes?
Like if you go to Carvana and you say, yes, I have good credit and I make this much, they give you like a general price. Does that like interest rate tweak with like once you actually send them your information and go through with the process, or is it just
didn't fixed? For me?
So it's just fixed like interest rate, and
I'm sure everybody's mileage will vary. I have pretty good credit, so they're like, you get the good credit rate, and I got the good credit rate.
That's my point. So they have a good credit rate, a mid credit rate, and a poor credit rate. And if you're good credit, you just get that, and there's no negotiating or anything.
It didn't change, yeah.
Okay.
And there's like no other bullshit. There's no other like. I think the one thing they were like, "Do you want to buy gap insurance?" I'm like, "No," and that was the end of it.
Aren't all Audis 4-wheel drive?
Yeah,
that's hot.
So why that car? I don't know much about Audis. I know that it's like for people like you, it's a good car, but that one specifically.
This particular generation S4 is what I was looking for. The 14 to 16.
Go back to the photo if you have it.
Yeah.
Audi's kind of hot in general.
If you see the prices on here, it's a $60,000 car, so it took a good depreciation hit before I got it. But I got to ride in one of these at Autocross, like full on at full throttle. It's a supercharged V6, all-wheel drive, so it's super quick, and it's not super boy racer looking. It's kind of a little bit more understated. It's got plenty of room for the family. It's got lots of storage room, more than my car has now, even though I have a hatchback. It's got way more trunk space.
It looks like a nice sporty sedan. It doesn't look racery.
Yeah.
And one of the things with Audi is their design has looked the same for like 20 years. So they don't look really that old, even though they're older. So we'll see. I'm a little nervous about the maintenance on a German car, but I bought something that's cheaper for the actual payment, so I can afford the actual maintenance on it.
Are you gonna put a fin on
referencing like a BMW, like as far as fears go?
Yeah, any of them, right? BMW, Mercedes, Audi are all kind of infamous for VW too, are pretty infamous for having pretty high maintenance costs. But it kind of just ticked all the boxes on what I wanted. Styling was good. We'll see how it goes. I just got my car detailed so it would look like nice and not ding me on the trade-in. So I'm like, my car looks perfect now. Off to the sea you go.
I'm gonna go on Carvana and probably buy your car. No,
you can't.
Wouldn't that be funny?
It says this car is reserved, and it puts up a big pop-up on it.
No, I mean your Focus.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
that's the joke. Yeah.
I told you somebody bought my old Hyundai at my work.
Yeah, you did. Yeah.
I was like, that looks like my old Hyundai, and I looked at the VIN. I was like, that is.
I think you took a photo of it, right? And
yeah.
You showed us the photo. Yeah.
But yeah, I'm excited. Okay. We'll see. My friend did Carvana before, and they had a really good experience all the way through.
I know Steve Johnson or Stephen Day, of New Birth Thursday fame. He's the first person I saw that bought a car on Carvana, and I was intrigued. I'm like, you bought a car online? Like, how? Yeah. That seems dumb. And then I went there and I'm like, this seems very convenient. Like, yeah, exactly. I hate, the last car purchase I dealt with was Yvonne's Prius in 2014. And it was the same shit where it'd go back and forth. Forth. She had great credit. She bought the car on her own and she was fine. But you had to play the game, and it was just it's dance, unnecessary.
Make the love.
It's stupid.
Yeah, that's what happened with our current car. We were there. We spent so much time there talking and finding the one we wanted, and they wouldn't come down for something, so we left. And then they called us, and then we called them, and 3 hours later, they're like, "Okay, fine, we'll do the price you want."
Yeah, I don't want to do that fucking.
It's a bunch of bullshit, and I don't ever want to do that again.
And so, just the experience of being able to say, here's our price. The way CarMax and Carvana work is they're 10% more than you're going to pay if you bought it somewhere else. And what you're paying for is not having to deal with all that other fucking bullshit. Yeah. And I'd rather just pay a little bit more than have to fight with a finance manager for 3 fucking hours just to get my car.
Yep.
This is the car that I was looking to buy if I needed a car. The Hyundai Veloster.
The Veloster Raptor.
I don't know a lot about this car. I just like the way it looks, and it's in my price range. But I don't have a need for a car. I have a vehicle that my work provides me, my job, my company, and they don't care what I do with it. They don't want me going to another state, but if I use it for personal stuff, they're fine with it.
Road trip in John's work van.
Exactly. That's not what. There's been legendary stories of guys with repair trucks, and they get a trailer hitch put on it, and they'll take their boat out to Havasu, and it's a blank elevator company towing a boat. And this is before the times of GPS on our vehicles, and word would get back to the office, and it's the union would have to come out and say, "Hey, you can't do that. You're abusing the privilege."
My first job, I worked at a .com, kind of in its decline, but when I was there, they still had some cool .com benefits, which was they had van pool vans. They literally had a fleet of vans, and then you could sign up to be a van pool driver, and then you kept the van, and you went and picked up 5 people, and we would all drive into work, right? And so there's a van pool system. Mm-hmm. And my buddy who I worked there, he lived in that van, basically. He drove that van every fucking where, and it got to the point where they needed it back, and he just wouldn't return it. And I remember the power went out at his house, so he's like, "Yeah, I got my computer running off the van," and he just lived his whole life in this fucking van pool van.
And then sounds like the .com life.
And they put a boot on it. They found it in the parking lot, and they put a boot on it because he kept not returning it. And then another guy got drunk and flipped his van pool van.
Wow.
That did get him fired, though.
Good.
Yeah.
I mean, I've heard similar stories in my industry with guys with company vehicles, DUIs, things happen. And for me, that's the ultimate scare. I would never drive. If I have one beer, there's no way I'm driving my company vehicle. I am sober as fuck in my company vehicle, but there's some people that just don't care. They're like, yeah, fuck it. And the company finds out, or even if they get a DUI in the vehicle, it's just all right, well, we have to send you to rehabilitation, and we can't fire you because technically you have a problem, and blah, blah, blah. And they work it out. I'm just yikes, fuck that. I'm not going to go through that. That's no.
Nope. Well, on that note.
All right, Tim. Well, I hope you enjoyed your younger experience.
Yeah, dude. Thank you so much, guys, for picking that up.
Did you finish yours?
Me? Fuck no.
Me, Momo? Okay.
I saved half.
I'm about halfway through it. At this point, no.
They're beauty.
I'm so glad that there was only one other beer.
Yeah.
That worked out well for you, yeah.
Yeah. It's
chug,
I will definitely be nursing it for a little bit. That's for sure.
Cool.
But I really appreciate it. So thank you guys.
Just
again
slam the rest of it and be like, all right, kids, time to watch Pixar.
So I saw on Reddit that the Drinking Socially podcast
I think
is
Tim's trying to make it out.
One more time.
Oh, go ahead.
No, what were you saying?
I was saying I saw on Reddit that the Drinking Socially podcast is going to talk about the New Brew Thursday badge on their podcast this week.
That's
going to be interesting to hear about. Yeah. Jason, in our private chat, Jason made a comment. Funny. He quoted saying, "Yeah, the origins of this badge are unknown." Anyhow, moving on. I subscribed to their podcast, but I didn't see that, and I'm like, did they actually say that? Like, because if so, like, fuck you.
Like, I made that up.
All right, but he made it up. Like, I'll come on and tell you about it.
I mean, I'm sure you could.
But yeah, they're going to do
the founder of New Brew Thursday, Brad, is on Drinking Socially.
Wouldn't that be funny?
That'd be awesome.
I love Brad though. Brad's dope. He's a great guy. He's a good guy.
Yeah, no, I didn't. I hadn't even seen that.
Yeah,
but that would be like having a Saved by the Bell reunion and just getting the chick that played Tori. That's a deep cut for Saved by the Bell fans, but it makes sense.
Well done.
All right, Tim.
All right, guys. I will catch you later.
Peace out, man.
See ya.
Nice seeing you.
Cheese, bros. Well, gang, Plenty of Younger is surprisingly good this year.
Yep. It's finishing really off my bottle, and yeah.
I portioned out a serving for Sarah before we drank, so that way I could finish all mine.
Greg, what did you think of the Fooder beer in that?
Oh, it's so good.
I haven't drank it yet. It's in my fridge.
Yeah, it's so beautiful. Like, it's domable. Like, it's a Russian River funky Fooder beer. It's done really well, and
I have to pee, but
some cherry notes.
I have to pee, but you guys want to hang for a sec? Because I want to talk about how we do the bistro beers.
Sure.
Yep. Bistro. Yeah, that I still have one in the fridge, so I'm just gonna probably drink that this weekend.
I get mine to Jason.
One of the pills. Oh, my Happy Hops had a quality issue.
Really?
One of them did. Yeah, the cap was crusty, and the beer was not hoppy at all.
Interesting. Was it carved?
It was carved, but it was like oxidized as fuck.
Yeah, well, things happen, you know. That's more of a mechanical problem than it is like a, quality
Thankfully,
problem.
It didn't happen to the, of all the beers in the pack to happen to. Like, I'd rather have it be that beer than a younger.
Happy Hops is so good, man. God.
I saw the Mind Circus, or what's their hazy?
That's Mind Circus, yeah.
Mind Circus, yeah. I'm like, could you pick a better name because of Mind Haze?
And I mean, it's not great. Like, if you want to...
They didn't bite on principle.
Technically, they have a hazy IPA, and you can buy it, but I think Happy Hops is definitely a better purchase over Mind Circus, or whatever it is. I think is it
Mind.
Now I'm second guessing.
Rich Rivers, and then Mind Haze is Firestones.
Right.
Anyway, I haven't tried it yet.
Let's see.
You had it at Windsor yesterday.
Yeah, it's Mind Circus. Yeah.
Mind Circus.
It's fine. It's a 7% IPA, New England, but Happy Hops is 6.5 and an IPA, and it's way better. Happy Hops over Mind Circus. That's what I say.
Oh, Happy Hops is delicious. I drank my other younger last night. I shared it with Brad Daniels.
How's he doing?
He's good. Busy dude these days. What's up, sir?
Word.
It's Sarah. Sarah Harris.
Sarah me, Bear me.
Okay, Sarah.
Is she drinking younger?
Yeah.
Sarah, thoughts?
Still has that younger heat. I remember. What's the ABV on this one?
10.5. They're always 10.5 apparently.
Yeah. It I tasted, but it's very good. It's crisp, it's clean.
Maybe it helped that we had that really boozy mead thing before it.
Yeah, that boozy mead was like, whew.
Yeah, I've been on a no beer kick for the last couple weeks.
So you're just doing heroin now, or what? What do you have?
How dare you?
Straight in the veins. Yeah. No. I'm doing a 1 month beer fast before my birthday. So.
Always good to do that in February.
Just cause. Yeah.
February, the shortest month of the year.
So I guess it's you're a little more sensitive to the beer at this point, then, since you haven't had beers in a month.
It's been only 2 weeks, but still. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. It's like as soon as I just smelled it, I was like, oh, there's that alcohol.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Yep.
But it's still delicious. Very good.
Dude, John, did I tell you about that dashboard show that I watched? Shit was good.
I saw the picture from your living room, and that's about it.
It was so good, dude.
I believe you.
The song mix was really good, and they did different arrangements on everything. It's super sweet. I know it's not your band though, but
when did they play Vindicated?
Like in the middle.
In the middle, really? Wow.
Yeah.
That's not really their hit. Like when you talk about them as like,
Well, yeah,
like,
I know.
people
It's
going
not
to their
hit.
shows. Yeah.
What was the last song?
Hands down. Because that's
yes,
it. Yeah.
of course. God, I can cry thinking about that song.
The last, like, I don't know, 4 songs. I just couldn't stop.
Yeah, I'm sure I could still like watch it, or buy it or whatever, and I probably will.
I don't think if you can do, because it was really good. The Get Up Kids one was like a fun contrast because it was very like the Dashboard one was very, very professional, and the Get Up Kids one was kind of like felt like a high school dance. Like
it absolutely felt like a high school gymnasium. They had like turned into a dance hall. There's lots of string lights and crepe paper. Like
Dashboard very clearly had like a mechanical arm doing the the camera. Get Up Kids was like handheld, right? Like they clearly had a guy going around with a camera, and it was just very much like kind of a DIY versus like a pro thing. It was a cool contrast.
I think Hopped LA mentioned the Jamie Eat World shows were dope. So
yeah, we did the Clarity show too. That was really good.
There's like a hierarchy. There's like different, not hierarchy, but different ways these bands did things. Newfound Glory was just like a stage with multi cameras, and there was no audience, and it was great. It was completely live. Like it was.
Venue?
What's that?
Like a concert venue kind of stage.
Yeah, and it was performed live. It wasn't pre-recorded. It was live, and so it was great. Like you heard, Jordan, his voice broke down halfway through and he couldn't hit high notes. And normally where he'd like have the crowd sing high notes and he'd point his mic out into the crowd, there's no crowd. And so he just wouldn't sing.
I watched the Lagwagon one that was live at a concert venue. And I know it was the second show they did, but the dude's voice sounded like shit and they had like no energy. I was like, dude, this sucks. Like, you let me down, Lagwagon.
Greg, Urban Roots, what is that? It looks like a hot dog.
Hot dogs or sandwiches, huh? What kind of beer is that?
It's an IPA, West Coast.
I gotta post that in the hot dog chat.
Can I see the label again? Is the hot dog in a like sandwich container? Like
it is, yeah.
Oh, that's so cool.
It's a beautiful label. Yeah, I've been stoked on Urban Roots beers. Anytime I see them, I buy them.
Going back to the concert talk. So yeah, Newfound Glory was completely live, and they did two shows that were live, and then they did a Christmas special that was all pre-recorded. That was really good. Like I watched it, and I had a lot of fun. I was building Lego in the studio, watching that. It was Christmassy. They did covers of a bunch of Christmas songs, and was it cover? No, was it covers? No, they were originals. Really, really good. They did a good job with that. And then Bad Religion did the 4 shows from the Roxy that were all pre-recorded, but it was still live. Like, I'm sure there was some, post-production stuff that they did to make vocals sound better and harmonies and whatnot, which is fine. But it was really, really good. They did the decade shows, which were 4 shows for every decade of Bad Religion. And Jimmy Eat World was the most highly produced one that I saw. Like, it looked really good.
The dashboard one was on par with the Jimmy Eat World show with the clarity.
Okay.
I would say that the Jimmy Eat World was more produced. Well, I guess maybe more stage lighting and like more professionally looking.
Yeah.
Where the dashboard one was like they were just in a well lit large room, kind of backlit. But the Jimmy Eat World one, they had like different colored lights per song that kind of lit with the shadows. It was really like it was artfully done.
Yeah, Jimmy Eat World was more like a concert lighting experience where the dashboard one was like one setting and they played the whole set that way. Yeah.
The Jimmy Eat World shows too, they did full playthroughs of what was it? Futures, Clarity, and one of the newer albums that I didn't like. But they all had a theme and they were filmed at different locations and very well produced, very well done. And they're only $15. It's like, what, you're paying $15 to see like a YouTube video? It's like, no, you know how much money went into this shit? Like I would have paid double that to watch this show. Like it was so well done.
Did you guys see speaking of those, did you see the Beer Advocate IPA Fest with any interest in that?
I heard about it, but I haven't seen it.
I was like, I'll skip that.
I did the other one I posted, the whatever, I forget, Dank something fest or something shit like that.
No, I think it's the same one, right?
No.
Okay.
I don't think so.
I thought you posted about the Beer Advocate, the one with through the same company.
Yeah, the Juicy Brews 420 Digital Craft Beer Festival. That's Hop Culture Presents. Their Beer Advocate's not on there at all.
Oh, okay.
It's the same company that ships it, the Halftime people.
Right. All right.
But I don't think it's Beer Advocate.
The one that Beer Advocate's doing, like, I mean, if you guys want to do it, we can. But I mean, that's a lot of money. Right. It's like going to be $400 for us to spend on that. So
my buddy and friend of the show, Zach, he's in the Lost Abbey, like whatever their membership thing is, and they accidentally, instead of the beer he ordered, shipped him 6 of that lemon meringue thing from the fucking Beer Advocate.
Uh-oh.
It's like, oh no, that beer.
That was the worst beer too.
I think they put that beer up for public sale a couple weeks ago too.
And they accidentally sent a bunch of them to Zach.
Too bad, Zach.
What's their IPA Fest? I might buy it just for me personally, not to be a show thing, but let's see what we got.
If you guys want to buy it personally, we can't afford to pay for it as a show. That's all.
I'm not gonna.
Breakside, Russian River, New Realm, Weathered Souls, Lawson's. That's a pretty good lineup for a fucking IPA, dude.
Is it?
I think so. Yeah, all those are like good IPA breweries. I don't know about Drecker. I haven't loved Drecker Brewing. DC Brow, I couldn't speak to very well.
DC Brow's good.
Beer Thug Life. Yeah, you don't.
That's going to be good depending on the brewery that he's collaborating with, because obviously that dude's not a brewer.
Yeah, I'll buy that for me, not for 4 brewers. I don't give a shit. I'll do it. What else am I gonna do? Can't leave my fucking home.
You can come over here, sit 12 feet apart, drink beer.
Well, Greg's like video laggy. It's weird.
I'm playing video games.
Oh, well, your GPU's processing your camera, so
yeah,
it's fucking you up.
Fucking up the game too.
Oh, thanks.
You guys want to wrap it up?
I did want to kind of. So We've got like 12 bistro beers and 4 Radiant beers and Kyle's homebrew. So we've got like a month plus worth of shows.
Yeah.
Do we want to maybe not do all of the bistro beers on the show? Because if we keep trying to schedule it out, they might get old before we drink them.
I'm down for plucking.
Like we can categories or.
Well, I don't know what we got. So are the beers that we got the winners or what?
Yeah, my understanding is we got they sent us the winners for 4 different categories, and I think it's IPA, double IPA, hazy IPA, double hazy IPA.
Jesus Christ. So let's pick one from each category and do that one show then, I guess.
Or I mean, we can do, multiple, but if we try to do 4 beers at a time, we got 12, right? So that's like
3 weeks.
3 weeks of shows or 4 weeks of shows. No, wait.
No, they sent 12 beers. So that's 3 weeks.
It's
pretty sure it's 12 beers.
It's double IPA and hazy double IPA. So what if we just did it does have like tasting notes on them and stuff, which is pretty cool. Also, sad news is one of the beers that actually won was Fatheads. And they're like, we couldn't get Fathead shipped in time, so we put whatever in the box instead. And I'm like, fucking love Fatheads.
Yeah, right. It's a bummer.
Well, he's not on the live. I don't think he's usually here, but one of our fans is like White Bread Beer, that dude.
Yep.
He's right in the area where Fatheads is, and he's always posting about him. And I'm like, got to convince him to send us some Fatheads, or just send me some Fatheads.
So what do you want to do?
Maybe I should get the little fucking insert.
Yep.
Yeah, let me go
through the beers.
I'll go get the insert too. I'll be right back.
Yeah, we'll see.
Look at the insert right here. I have it on my person. Oh, I like we can judge them too. And as far as judging, it looks like they're just all doubles. I didn't see any just regular IPAs because it's a double IPA festival. Unless I'm mistaken. Yeah, it looks like half are hazy and half are not. That's the shtick. It's not 4 different kinds. Juice Nukem. And dang it, no Monkish.
So one of these beers they list is Claremont, but I don't see a fucking Claremont beer in there at all.
Okay. But yeah, it looks like there's, as far as the sheet goes, it's a double IPA festival, and one side is IPA, and the other side is hazy double IPA.
Yeah, it's double IPA West Coast, and then hazy double IPA.
But yeah, Kyle in the Patreon chat says can 2 and 3 are IPA. The canning dates are on the bottom.
In Kyle's stuff?
I guess so.
Yeah, he's talking about the stuff he sent.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, it's not
Never
this.
mind.
Because those are also in the queue. So we've got Kyle's beers, we've got Radiance beers, we've got the Bistro box of 12, which
with Radiant, we should probably get to those beers sooner rather than later. I mean, they are a brand new brewery, and I'm not sure how stable and stuff that. I mean, they're canned from a truck.
I'm down to do Radiant next week. I think.
Do we want to get Andy Bell on the show?
No, I don't want to deal with that right now.
Okay.
I'd rather go there and do a show in the future.
Sure.
Like he's done enough of online things, and we don't need him. I mean, obviously, like I'd love to have him on the show, but not in this format.
Gotcha.
Geek Sheet, all beers, tasting notes, People's Choice Awards. Or wait, are we judging? Is that what's happening here? No, they
on one of
thing.
If you look on the back side of one of the pieces of paper,
Oh yeah.
it's a grid.
Wow, that looks bad on my camera.
Yeah, my motion blurs off.
They say if we taste them and send back our thoughts, then the People's Choice Award. But we have to do it by Monday, so I guess we fucked up there.
That's not going to happen.
There we go.
Oh wow.
I say we just do.
So the beers
we're doing 6.
Are these the beers that they sent us?
No, I mean the beers they sent us are in this list, but not all of them.
Okay, because this is 18 beers, and I'm pretty sure we got sent 12.
12.
So,
the Docent we definitely got. Moonraker we got. Humble Sea we got. El Segundo we got. Bike Dog we got. Revision we got. North Park we got. Del Cielo we definitely got.
North Park 1, right? For
Studwork we got.
The Docent should be in there since they're OC.
Well, they're on the list, but I don't know if we got it.
Oh, okay.
They're on the double IPA West Coast list, but God, no. Let me go get the box.
But they didn't send us the rankings of those though.
No, which is kind of good in a way. So if you're judging you're not like swayed.
So the papers don't help me at all in determining which beers we actually have and want to do.
Correct. Unless we go get our boxes busted out real quick.
I mean, mine are all sitting on the kitchen table, so that's where I kind of looked and took an inventory. So that's why I was like, here's the ones we definitely have.
I got the beers. All right. So someone check these off as we go.
Oh, wait. Zach says the rankings are the list, this big numbered list here. Did they rank them all together, though?
All right. So you have
the one side is hazy, the other side's
down for the Sudwork.
Someone check these off.
Oh, okay. So
I don't have a pen.
This big page is the list of all of the breweries total that entered.
Right.
And then the front page that has just a list of 9, that's the rankings ranked, but they should be numbered, but they're not.
What?
So like Zach just said, Moxa is number 1, Docent is number 2, Moonraker is number 3, Humble Sea is number 4, like in the actual rankings. It's on that front page.
I got that, but I'm just saying for the beers that we got.
Yeah. So which of them did we get? Yeah.
So someone get a pencil or a pen and check these off because I have it right in front of me.
All right. So
the first one is Sudwork.
Sudwork. Which one from Sudwork?
Trouble Shuttle.
All right.
Triple Trouble Shuttle.
All right.
This one is
8 people watching this. This is fucking amazing.
Bike Dog Personal Space Invaders. Bike Dog.
All right. And Bike Dog was number 8 on the West Coast. All right.
You're checking these off, right?
Yeah.
And then Rabbit Habit Double IPA from Docent.
And that one is that was number 2 West Coast. So
yes.
I want to do that one either way, just because it's like local
to people.
I'm going to set that aside then. Next one is.
I bet I could get some of that Claremont beer. But
Juice Above the Clouds from
Altamont.
Which was
that's the number 6. Yeah. I'd like to do that too because we've never done Altamont. Docent we've never done.
Amberland.
I'd skip.
I would say skip it just because we've done it on the show. We've done El Segundo to fucking death. I love them, but
Same.
Moonraker.
Moonraker's
Villain.
bomb. Is that a hazy?
It's
August
Imperial
Fingers.
IPA. That's what they call it.
And Honorable Villain. Okay, yeah, that was a number 3 IPA. So that one's definitely a go.
And Garage Dojo from Bike Dog.
Is that one of the award ones? Doesn't look like it. Maybe that's our free bonus beer we got because we didn't get the hopheads.
So from those 4, did we pick one that we want to keep? We had Juice Above the Clouds from Altamont. Honorable Villain from Moonraker. And Hammerland. And then the bonus beer.
If we're trying to pick 4 of these,
right now we've picked 1 from Docent.
Those are all the West Coast, right?
Well, no. This was a hazy. Juice Above the Clouds was I'm assuming they're calling it Juice Above the Clouds.
It's under the West Coast category. All of those are under the West Coast category.
All right. All right. We'll just move on. Alpha Acid Brewing Company, Emerald Hills.
Oh, the Bike Dog one is a hazy.
The Bike Dog?
Yeah.
Garage Dojo?
Yeah, that's a hazy, but it's not an award winner.
All right. Well, like I said, Alpha Acid, Emerald Hills.
All right. That's a double IPA. It's the number 7 place double.
Next one, North Park Clockwork. This must be on the show because I think they got first place.
Yeah, for sure.
Or the second, I guess, if you're looking at hazy double IPA on the list.
Yeah.
All right, I'll set that aside. Revision, Distance, Haze.
That was the number 1.
They were number 1, really?
Yeah.
We got to try that, right?
Got to do that one.
And the last one, the Hazy Boys from Del Cielo.
The last one?
Del Cielo?
Is that right? 1, 2,
Del
3.
Cielo. It's Del Cielo. Hazy Boys. It's 4th on the hazy double IPA list.
Hazy Boys. Come on.
Am I on crack? Because that's 11 beers. Oh, wait. No, yeah, it's 11. So it's 2 Bike Dogs.
Yep.
Docent, Altamont.
Oh, nope. I missed this one. Gilman Brewing, Murky Triple IPA.
Oof.
The Swamp Juice. Yeah.
Nice. Make yourself a funk shake.
That's 12.
Okay, so the hazies that we have the number 1, number 2, number 4, number 6, and number 7. And then Bike Dog, which didn't place, but they gave it to us as a consolation prize. So my thought is we throw out the Alpha Acid one because it's the lowest ranked one, and then we do the other 4.
Dude, Kyle.
Yeah, so we have Revision, which is number 1 double, North Park, which is number 2 double, Docent, which is number 2. I'm sorry, the first 2 were hazy double. Docent is number 2 regular double. We didn't get Moxa.
Mope.
I mean, we didn't get a lot of them, but
so we need a second one from double IPA West Coast.
Yeah, hold on, I'm doing the numbers right now. So if we go on straight ranking, it would be Docent, Moonraker, Altamont, and El Segundo. Again, I think we've done El Segundo to death. I think we could probably skip them. So the next one would be the Bike Dog Personal Space Invaders.
Right.
So that seems like a good list.
Down with that.
This one.
So I sent the list. Oh, what? Oh, I didn't rearrange them. I'm dumb.
So we don't want to use any more of these for future shows at all? Or
I mean, the thing is we've got like 6 weeks of shows queued up, right? So these IPAs aren't going to stay fresh forever.
You've got Kyle's show, this show.
If we could squeeze 2 shows out of them, I think
You've got Kyle, Radiant, and at least 2 shows of Bistro. Bistro.
Right.
So it's like 4 weeks of shows if we just break these to 4 each.
All right.
And
so
then,
next week, Kyle, if you're listening, do you think your beers will hold up for one more week?
I mean, they're barley wine, right?
Are they all? I thought they were. I don't know what they are, so I'm not going to say anything.
He said 2 of them are IPAs.
Oh, okay. We should probably get to those.
Well,
but
let's
again,
do Radiant, Kyle. Shit, that's a tough call.
Here's I sent them to our private chat, sorted by the rank, rank. So
I think the double IPAs will last more than anything.
More than the hazies, probably. I might say we do the hazies before anything. I don't know. Kyle, if you're hanging out, how many weeks do you think your homebrews can hang out and still be decent?
I mean, mine are not. I mean, they're sitting in the fridge right now. They're not like sitting out on the counter waiting.
Mine are sitting on the counter. Oh, wait, no,
the 4 beers that we set aside from this, the oldest one was from Docent from January 18th. The others are basically the beginning of February. I think they'll be fine.
Well, that means if we did them next week, we're talking about a month old. So not old, but not mad fresh. But I'm like, I don't know if I want them almost 2 months old.
All right. Patreon chat. So check the dates on the IPAs and drink them on your own. The rest will keep.
We're going to make a whole show out of Kyle's beers, though.
Yeah. I say we do Kyle next week, then sit on Radiant. And definitely do the Bistro beers before Radiant, and then do Radiant after that. I think they're going to hold up. They'll be fine.
I mean, those are hazy IPAs too. So,
oh wait, only the glass is homebrew. The rest of those are just mystery beers. Oh, Kyle's just sending us beers that he took the labels off of to blind fuck.
Oh, did he?
What?
Is that what he said?
I thought they were homebrews.
They're not homebrews, Kyle. Those are just beers that you're tricking us with. Or not tricking us, but puzzling us.
This is hard.
That's why I wanted to have a conversation about it on here. And so 6 people can listen to us plan the logistics of making more shows.
It's interesting. A bit, I guess.
I mean, not to
only
me.
the glass is homebrew that can be
okay,
moved
so he
to
took
any
the
show.
labels off, and he put the labels
so it's
in the envelopes.
That's genius. Okay.
Oh, so he did go in
all homebrew.
Dude, that's clever.
I thought he put
we should do that.
Notes about his homebrews in the envelopes.
Oh man, that rules.
Oh.
Well, if they're commercial beers, are they particularly old? They can probably hold up a couple weeks, right?
For sure.
And I love the idea of doing a going in blind that Kyle made for us. That sounds fun as fuck.
Oh, 100%.
That's a surprise going in blind.
If they can,
I say next week we do one of Kyle's homebrew, and then do the Radiant beers, and then do the Bistro show after that, and then after that go into the Mystery Science 3000 of Kyle's whatever going in blind beers.
What if we did? Yeah, Radiant. We did Bistro Hazy. We did Kyle's Mystery Beers, and then we did Bistro Doubles.
Wait,
they're all doubles.
No, sorry. Yeah, but West Coast. Sorry, Radiant, Bistro Hazy, Kyle, Bistro West Coast. I think the West Coast will hold up better.
so you're gonna pick more from the bistro beers than the 4 we just picked?
No, we're doing. We just talked about 4 hazies, 4 West Coast. So we
from
do
the bistro.
So next week, Radiant show.
Got it.
The week after that, Hazy Bistro show.
4 hazies from bistro.
Yeah.
Right.
And then the week after that, we do Kyle's beer. And then the week after that, we do Bistro West Coast.
All right.
That's 4 weeks.
Book it.
We got the next month lined up.
All right. I got to write this down.
Yep. Put it in chat.
So, let me go. Yeah.
So Tim knows too.
Next week, Jason.
All right. I will just write this out.
Go ahead. Thank you. Love that.
We should start with Kyle's homebrew and then go into Radiant.
All right. Well, I'm going to put these back in the fridge.
I didn't realize that this Urban Roots beer is 9.2. I'm like, I'm feeling a little buzzed. When you're like buzzed where you have to like squint to read the ABV. You're like, is that 9 or a 4?
When's your birthday, Greg?
End of April. I'm going camping from a big fitty.
In 50, huh?
Big fitty.
I had 40 this year, dude. It'll be fun.
I'm going to be 42.
That's why I have an Audi now, because I'm 40.
Audi 4000.
All right. I just typed in our private chat. I think that's a good schedule. I think it's cool that we have a whole month planned out. It's actually pretty nice to not worry about it.
Yep. I am going to finish editing the last episode this weekend, and I will be all caught up for our shows. So going into March, we're going to be completely caught up and good to go.
Cool. What chat did you put that in, Jason? I don't see it.
Private chat.
Last thing I see in there is the Docent Moonraker Altamont.
No, it's in there.
It may look like it's part of the same post because it's kind of the same format.
Oh, gotcha. Okay. It's on the bottom.
Yeah.
Bark Dog. And then 3-6.
So we'll basically just do the top 4 of each of those that week. And we'll throw out El Segundo because, again, I love El Segundo. We've
done them to death. We know they make great beer.
We've done Hammerland on the show more than once. And
I can drink a Hammerland tonight.
Honestly, yeah, that sounds fucking pretty.
If anything, give them a shout out on the show, and
congratulate them on
comment that they did better, but we wanted to try a brewery we've never tried.
But all of our bottles broke somehow in shipping.
That bottle did.
Sorry.
When I opened the box and I saw one bottle shoved in there, I'm like, you guys are fucking on the edge here with the I'm shocked that it didn't fucking break.
We gotta try to find a way to do an Urban Roots show. Jesus Christ.
They're fucking good, dude.
Their beer is so good. I know Brad, I was talking to him last night and he's headed up to Sacramento to do a job. And I was like, dude, you have to go to Urban Roots. Number 1, Pangea if you can. Number 2.
It'd be nice if it was normal times again, where you could just go there and experience the place for how it's supposed to be, and not some weird dystopian COVID outside thing. But
yeah, at least they do have outdoors.
Yeah, I mean, I can't wait till you actually go back to fucking anywhere.
Erin got her vaccine 2 days ago.
The first one?
Yep.
Sarah got her second one on Monday, so she's hunkering down for like the second dose. You get the symptoms, like you get chills, and it's like flu type symptoms. So she's preparing for that.
Did she get Moderna or the Pfizer?
Pfizer. She got Pfizer.
So yeah, the place that where Aaron went, there was a line for 3 hours for Pfizer, and there was no wait for Moderna. So she went Moderna.
That's weird.
Isn't that so stupid? It is. It's like the whales of vaccines.
Right.
Hey, buddy.
I'll take whichever one I can get. You know, I'm not picky.
Yep. Same. Hi, doggy.
Oh, hi, dog.
Greg, would you ever consider getting a pit bull?
Nah, I don't like big dogs.
I mean,
I like big dogs.
I know
I
what
don't
you
like
mean.
picking up big dog shit.
Yeah,
Little dog. The bigger the dog, the bigger the turds.
Betty pooped like 2 hot dogs today. So that's the size of her poops. 2 hot dogs.
Wow. You pick it up and it's like warm.
Well, I don't pick it up with we have like a shovel thing. So
I'm saying if you take her on a walk, then there's like a turd and you have to like
oh
put
yeah,
your hand in the bag and you got to reach down and touch a hot, steamy turd. And yeah, a little tiny dog. It's like a little Tootsie Roll. Like, there you go. Good job.
Oh, I just saw this, and a wild John appears in my social feed. Not John. Same. Big same.
Nice.
Oh,
Fwib.
that's me.
Fwib.
Where was that? Facebook?
Twitter.
Oh man.
On the tweeters.
You see Tim doing a selfie. Kyle did a Twitch clip.
That was awesome.
His face is so magical.
All right, guys. I think I'm gonna duck out.
Yep. We'll see you, man.
Peace, bro.
Next
Later.
weekend, Radiant Beers.
All right.
One little vial of Kyle homebrew.
It's gonna take it to the head.
All right, guys. If you're still watching, thanks for hanging out, and we'll see you guys next week. Peace out.